How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I got quite a few different things I got done. I managed to get like a chunk of map maintenance done. I went and collected steel pipes, steel beams, I got some logs, got concrete, paved a few new roads. Mainly, like, the main focus of this video, there's a lot of like choppiness at the beginning because there was like 5 hours of footage to squeeze in, but yeah, I had to go in this log grabber, and then I also bought a log loader. New versions of each. They were both like the versions of this dozer truck, whatever it's called. And then towards the second part of the video is building the AI route. Well, the roads needed for the AI route to go from the oil station to Montyville. Again, I think it's called Montville, but I'm sticking with Montyville. And yeah, that's a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest. I don't mind the fact that I had to build roads, but the AI truck is so useless, it gets stuck on just about anything, to the point where it even got stuck on a freshly built road I did and all sorts. So yeah, it's like unnecessarily annoying to the point that you can't even fix, you just can't fix stupid when it comes to those AI vehicles. In the end though, it was pretty fun because I got to build some pretty random roads that, yeah, I sunk a lot of time into it, but I was quite glad I did in the end. So for this log loader, or grabber I should say, you seen there, it's a little bit iffy because the logs, there's already logs at a sawmill on this map, but they're all scattered all over the place, so trying to get a nice scoop of them is pretty difficult. I believe I got 7 in the grabber, but on the way I knocked one on a lamppost and I dropped it. So yeah, next up I brought this log loader, but it's like the, is it like, I think in real life the truck's called like a Kirovets or something. Yeah, brought the proper version though, the log loader, and there was 2 other sets of logs at the sawmill that had already been chopped and everything. So I think in the end I managed to get like 22 on there. For some weird reason, all the logs look like roughly pale coloured on the inside, but there's one log you can see at the middle at the top that's like a deep red for some reason. I don't really know why, it's the only one that seems to be. Yeah, overall I actually to be honest, I quite like both of them. The fact that they're not rusty versions as well I think helps a little bit. But they both felt pretty decent. The log grabber is good, like it hangs on pretty damn hard onto them. That's what she said. I like that because then at least they're not all like spilling. I did clip one on a tree, but I'd say it was more my fault, and it was 9/10 dangling out of the grabber at that point anyway. Yeah, and this thing as well, unlike obviously snow running, you have to get, say, 3 logs or whatever it is in the loader, and then you hit pack and it just kind of turns into a stack of logs like this. On this game you can actually just ram them all in, and yeah, I'm on 12 logs now, and then when I cash them in I'm on 34. So I would say, like, the log grabber was fun, and I'm not disappointed I bought it, but strictly speaking for mission speed or just whatever, I think the log loader is far more efficient, basically. Say even if I got 7 logs on the first grab, and then if I got another 7 on the second grab, I did 2 trips with the log grabber, and that would have been, yeah, 14 logs. I did 1 trip with the log loader, and obviously probably a little bit more time picking up logs, but not by much, because again, if they're all neatly in a pile lined up, you could probably get a pretty good scoop with the grabber. Yeah, next up, grabbing some concrete from, I'm near my river base, I believe it is at the minute, just cutting over to the concrete plant. Again, yeah, it's like, I've edited quite a lot out, basically, because, yeah, spent hours going around, because I was getting to the point where I could do a building bridges, but I've got no concrete. By the way, this place I cleared up, there's one bit of concrete that's just completely stuck in the floor. I didn't pull too hard that time, but when I did before, my truck was like lifting up at the back and all sorts. Apart from that, which I'm pretty damn confident I could have squeezed in somewhere on my sideboard, I managed to grab every piece of concrete from here. You can see the concrete plant in the background, so if you're wondering like roughly where I am, or like when I did the Days of Thunder video, I think this is about the point where Harry Hogg said, "What's happening, Cole?" And he said, "I'm just setting him up, Harry." Got here, delivered them, ended up giving me 10 concrete slabs, or technically say 9.5, but I was already like near to 6, so yeah, went up by 10 anyway. And then next I got some steel beams, and I think, is this the one where, yeah, I stopped now, so I've just came out of the steel beams plant, I've got a bridge built there, well, not built, but drawn, and I need to go over there with 10 steel beams, but obviously I do need the this bridge done. I think it was 7 logs. So what I decided to do, this is actually a different mule, it was one of the cloned ones that was just sat nearby. Again, I wanted to give the log grabber a go. I was trying to sort of use the mule as a stop to kind of scoop all the logs up. However, what I did was bump half the logs over to like the square that you drop the resources off, so they all started disappearing. So attempt number 2, I did unload 7 and put them into the crane, but for whatever reason I must have knocked one into the resource point again at some point, so I only had 6 on me. So yeah, I was expecting to finish the bridge at that point, but not quite. So yeah, I had to bring 1 more log. So with the truck that I already had loaded up, I think did I go on? Yeah, I might have dropped them off. I was going to say I originally had 12 steel beams in here. I think I did go to the resource drop-off point though and flick 2 out when I went and grabbed that log. Got the bridge built though, and then yeah, the mission, deliver steel beams to the unfinished passage to strengthen the walls. And I've just got all my beams like crafted in there. Yeah, building the bridge, cut along here, take a left here down this like little bit of a sketchy road. There's a blue train car in the way. You can actually squeeze through anyway, but I do move it at some point. And then yeah, to that unfinished passage section. Finally actually got a bit of sun. It's yeah, no surprise to anyone. Been pissing it down all night while I was building my roads. I ended up patching like 2 massive pieces of road, which probably won't come in that handy, other than the AI route. But I still think it was worth it just for that. But still, I finally made it up to level 10 tonight. But yeah, I want to kind of get a few levels higher because I'm getting a bit impatient for the top vehicles in the game. That stuff like, one thing I really want to unlock is that portable sand quarry thing, because I've noticed quite often there's roads I want to build, and it must be at this point like whoever designed the game has kind of done this on purpose, but everywhere I want to seem to build a road is not quite within reach of a sand quarry. And I don't really, if I can help it, want to keep going back and forth, because that obviously adds a hell of a lot of time, versus if you can just dump a pile of sand and then refill the bucket. So yeah, I'm hoping sooner rather than later I get leveling up. I think tonight though I've made it to about 94% on this map, so I think, is it tomorrow? Yeah, it's the live stream. But I'm near enough done on this map. I've now unlocked, like, there's like a drilling thing in one of the quarries I drained. I've got to go and deliver them, and I think that's got to be about it, really. Which overall, like, this map was definitely a step up from Incommunicado. I'm still glad I did it in that order, because, yeah, this map, I think if I went from this map and then did Incommunicado, it'd be a bit, it'd feel like a little bit sort of easy mode, and Incommunicado was quite nice. Overall, it's quite a free-flowing map. There's a few roads and that you've got to build, but this map, by comparison, is a bit punishing, but I don't think they went over the top with it. Just again, if I had access to some of the higher vehicles, there's various other things I'd do. They still need to add more speed as well to, like, this mule in particular, since it's the only vehicle with a crane and sideboard, so we're sort of forced to use it. Yeah, but if I had, like, more powerful vehicles and all the rest of it, I reckon things would tick along a little bit quicker. I just tried as well. I moved that blue train carriage thing over with the crane on this, which I just wasn't sure, because like normally I winch them out of the way with a loaf, but one me loaf on the other side of the map, he was recalling vehicles to the oil station to get building some roads, so I didn't really want to drive him all the way over here just to drag it out of the way. But I was just curious, will the crane actually do it? And it did. It's a little bit faffy, but does the trick. Yeah, you can see now, like, when it's slow, it's probably like the mule in the end you're driving it, but even when I was driving like the paver and that earlier, there's a few vehicles that are just so slow. It's not, say, laying the sand or smoothing it out or whatever. It's getting to the place to do it that makes you sort of think, oh god, it's going to take me 10-15 minutes just to drive there. Obviously, again, if you're in the right place, you can recall vehicles with a loaf, which I did in a couple of cases. That's that mission done then. Dropping off steel beams. I was expecting Kelly to pop up at some point, but she didn't. I think I had another mission to do before it Counted that. The next one was delivering steel. Oh, I had 10 steel pipes, I believe. And then I've got to draw an AI route. And as you can see here, this was a bit crappily designed because I drew the line the way I planned it. They come out of this building. It's that long truck that's only got rear-wheel drive, which doesn't help because it ends up having quite a long turning circle. But as you can see, they're all just Muppets. They drive straight into that red tank. The first one isn't even attempting to reverse, I think, until the third one just about blocks him. And then, yeah, it's like the three idiots trying to get round. So in the end, I had to draw the route round this way because it's the only way they'll swing round, really. And over to the right of the map, there's like where there's been an earthquake and it's all different levels and all the rest of it. I could, in theory, have gone there and maybe built a bridge and laid some sand and all the rest of it, but at that point it's outside the sand radius and I just couldn't be bothered driving back and forth. Drawing this line, I kind of knew they'd be pretty crap, but yeah, just like they got stuck instantly on that road. So I brought this thing that I've unlocked on this map. It's the first time I've really properly used it. It holds 40 tons, which is twice as much as the bowhead, so as far as once you're actually there and all the rest of it, it does seem quicker to lay sand. The only problem is you can see I did hit a bit of a bump there, so it doesn't really... It's probably not a fair demonstration, but it drops little bits of sand all the time out the back. Like the back door of this dumper bucket thing is, yeah, a bit sketchy to say the least. And then sometimes, like, there's probably a little bit of footage later that shows a better example, but it will drop sand, and particularly if you're reversing, you then get stuck almost, or quite often you do, on the same like hump of sand that you just accidentally spilt. But apart from that, it is, again, pretty decent. It does dump quite a large amount of sand. So as long as you're within radius, you actually can get on with it pretty quick. So yeah, did a wiggly line going around that building for these Muppets. In fairness, once they got past this bit, they're actually pretty hassle-free after that. But yeah, it would have been a lot easier to double back on myself, but they just won't make the corner. And there's not really a lot I can do. Again, it's a little bit of a... unless they sort of purposely intended you're going to have to go this way and build a sand road, or I suppose I could have brought the paver and all that and done a proper road. Yeah, but the way they've angled the building, there's just not really a lot you can do about it. And then there's that red tank that's in the way, and that's immovable. I gave it a good old ramming with the dumper and all that, and it was having none of it. You can kind of see, based on the red line where they've failed, is that's the route they're going. Actually, it's quite a handy option when I'm showing videos, because the when it's drawn red, because I've failed the route, it actually shows up pretty well. Yeah, get them there, objective complete, provide enough steel pipes to the production facilities, and then it's showing me this little robotic thing. Goal complete, the way forward. I believe that's possibly the second out of 3 stages on the map. All of this just to get some expensive mining toys back. It's not hard to imagine there's more to this than meets the eye, but the finish line is in sight. Better focus on that. Not sure if that's supposed to be some cryptic hint. It's not hard to imagine that there's more to this than meets the eye. Yeah, those mining toys, I've not been able to drive them or anything. I believe they're what I've got to go and deliver. And I just left this bit in. It's kind of the, I don't know, little cutscene from getting to that part of the mission. And I'm sure Kelly pops back up at some point.
This order's coming right from the top. The drilling machine that you recovered from LaRose Quarry. We need you to deliver it to the port, and the drilling machine from the lava quarry to the railway station. There's also other mining supplies for both locations. But you can plot a route for our trucks to deliver them.
So I think you've got to do a one-time route and then deliver those items. But anyway, my next mission was to sort this secure fuel access for Montyville. You can see where I've built a bridge just to see if it'd fit, or like, because it's on a bit of a 90-degree angle, it's not until or unless they give us the option to build bridges with angles in them. I wasn't too happy with it. It probably would work, to be fair. I think there was enough bridge there to kind of join each side up, and as long as you drew the AI... Well, we'll get to the AI, because for some reason they don't always listen to the lines for me tonight. So yeah, recalled this dumper truck over here, started pouring it. You can see how much 40 tons... Again, quite a nice chunk of sand, but you could tell this was going to take some serious loads. That's definitely what she said. But I actually quite enjoyed this, to be honest. This bit of it I didn't mind. Again, I don't mind... Obviously, the game is Roadcraft, so I'm not getting mad at like having to build roads or anything. But just, yeah, at times the AI is so stupid, it's like, it's not about building a road so a truck can get past. It's building, like, stupid little patches of nothing because the AI are idiots. And again, it's only really been more recently. They've been getting worse for me. Overall, on the first couple of maps, I think I got off pretty lightly. They actually listened pretty well to all the lines I drew. They never really got stuck. Or not anything too piss-taken anyway. There's probably the odd exception, but... yeah, nothing too mental. But anyway, after it probably took me half an hour to an hour, but I wouldn't particularly say I was in a rush and I was laying other bits. There's a pipe exposed here, which I could draw the AI vehicles around it, but I figured while I was here with the dump truck, worked out pretty nicely, just kind of do a line. One thing I do like with this dumper truck, it doesn't just dump one massive load of sand instantly. I found with that Tiger, like the original dump truck you get, once you've made it vertical enough to start tipping sand, it just kind of slips the whole bucket out and drops it in one pile, and it's quite hard, unless you're already freely driving at full speed, then you could probably make it dump more of a line. But yeah, that dumper truck, it just doesn't dump it all at once. Maybe it's because there's 40 tons and it just makes it, say, dump 5 tons a second maybe, or 5 to 10 tons a second. Yeah, I mean, I drew the line, like, around this stuff, but for whatever reason, they completely ignored the line this time. Drove over all these pipes that I'd moved out of the way. You can see where my line is. And yeah, got all caught up on that, so sent in the goddamn professional. Again, you can see I've placed more sand here to patch all that up, because they were driving that way instead. We've dumped a lot of sand tonight. I don't know if there's a counter that keeps track of how many tons of sand you've dumped, but if each one of those dumpers is 40 ton, yeah, I've probably done 3,000 to 4,000 tons of sand, I suppose, tonight, I'd imagine. Thankfully, though, once we got past those stupid pipe bit where it didn't listen to the AI route, it got round there. I was pretty happy with that road. Got it pretty damn smooth by the end of it. I quite like how the sand works as well. You can sort of see, obviously, it piles up in a hump, but as you drive over it, you can smooth it out, but you could see where it sort of forms its own boundary line, so it was nice and flat on top, and then it sort of forms its own ridge along the edge. And kept it all quite neat. And this is another example, like, I will say in fairness, well, it's not the biggest dip to get caught on, but I was like, okay, fair enough, it's a kind of a highway truck, laid some sand, I mean, you can't get much smoother than that. And he bloody gets stuck again. And yeah, just consistently getting stuck there, which was like, was not looking good. When I think I pushed them past that bit, just while I was fixing the road, because they're in the way. One of them starts driving like a complete idiot again and cuts the other one off. So that was like mission, you know, route failed again. Eventually after that, I think I reset them after that and they actually drove normally. Yeah, so that was finally in the bag. I'm almost at level 9.
That solves Montville's fuel problem.
That bloody time.
Schedule for that statue ceremony.
When she said that, I was like, what? Now I've got to do a fucking statue ceremony? I was like, oh yeah, shit. She said the other day something about erecting statues. She's got them on the mind, I think. Yeah, so it was just kind of a bit of a joke, I suppose, on what she was saying the other day. And then, yeah, now, though, after it completed the mission, you can see there, they now followed the line I drew, so now they're going back to the other side, where I've not poured sand and paved it all as neatly. I came back, tried to smooth this bit of sand out where they were getting stuck. You can see other patches going down there. I've been repairing all sorts. And then I was eyeballing this section up, and you can see where I've drawn a bridge, but I didn't really want to build that because I don't really like the look of it. Although I've left the ghost of the bridge in there because it was actually quite difficult to get that to work. Like, it kept having one patch that was red, so it wouldn't let me place the bridge. But I decided to, or possibly, I was hoping I could, cut through here, which kind of cuts off the bridge-ish, well, most of it. But first things first, I had to ram some trees down to clear them out of the way. I was hoping I could knock them over with this instead of having to bring a tree mulcher and, you know, the tree logger and all the rest of it. I don't know if I left a bit of clip in, but at some point I dumped a load of sand and it pushed a tree out of the way. I've got a fairly good feeling, but I won't know until tomorrow really, until I load the game back up. But since I've laid a road over here and all the rest of it, I don't think those trees will come back. I think if I knocked those trees over and didn't build anything here, when I load the game back up tomorrow, I think they would be back where they're supposed to be. But yeah, since I'm paving all over them, I'm hoping tomorrow there won't just be trees sticking out the road. Otherwise, I will have to bring the logger and the tree mulcher and all the rest of it. This tree lying on its side as well. In theory, again, it was like I could bring the tree mulcher and chop it up. It will, like, chew those trees up. It takes about 5 to 8 seconds or something, but it will just... You'll see log chips flying off, so you know you're actually chewing it up or whatever, and after 5 to 8 seconds it disappears. But in the end, I was noticing as I was putting sand down, I was just curious, is it going to lift that tree up in the air? Is it going to keep putting sand under it? But in the end, the tree stayed where it is, and the branches are sticking up, but they actually weren't a hassle this time, for once. So yeah, I effectively just paved over that tree and left it there. Seemed like a good idea at the time. It saved myself. See, that's the thing though, it was like, I don't mind using the tree mulcher, but it was like, oh god, I've got to drive the tree mulcher over here, or I've got to, say, drive the loaf up to here and recool it. I've still got 15 fuel, which, to be fair, I think it carries over on each map, but I always get like this on games. I've said before, on Oblivion and COD and all that. I'll try and save that 15 fuel I've got for as long as I can, even though I'll probably never end up using it. Yeah, that bloody truck started getting stuck again. I've drove over that piece of road about 20 times with a bulldozer, and it's still apparently not flat and smooth enough for the bloody AI. So I went and bought a new paver and a new roller. I don't know if it was because of the amount of sand I've put down and everything tonight. I started getting a few little frame rate drops, which, apart from maybe once or twice over the last couple of weeks, I've not really had any. That was me driving over all the sand I've just laid down for my new shortcut. This is heading over to where they're getting stuck. And again, I'm not sure if I left this bit of clipping, but when I pave it now, obviously I've not rolled it yet, that truck also got stuck when it was paved. At some point I will go down there and probably pave that sand I've sort of built around the corner, but yeah, I was running out of time. Well, I say running out of time, obviously I sort of count this as a bit of free time for me to dick around a bit, but it was nice though, because yeah, I've been sort of chasing my tail, and I was getting to the point where I either need to build bridges or gather resources to build bridges. I was kind of stuck where it was I can't really do any mission unless I do an hour or two of like map maintenance and everything on the side. Thankfully though, tonight was a good chance. So yeah, I got all 4 done. I've got 0 pipes again, but I delivered 10 of them, so I think I did actually get another 5 near the end of the night. And then yeah, as you can see, it's a little bit rough around those trees. Those 4 big trees, I don't believe I can cut down or anything. I think they're like, there's a few trees on this game that just don't, yeah, they seem too big for the loggers, and I think that's one of them. So this is the new AI route I was drawing. Instead of cutting them through the rail yard and all the rest of it, I didn't really need to do it. I could have probably just let them keep going around the rail yard, but yeah, it was a little bit of a curiosity, plus it kind of solved the issue of like, do I want to build that bridge or whatever's going on there. Had to be a little bit delicate around here. Yeah, it'd be nice to get just rid of that tree. However, well, say draw the AI route around it, that's the thing, the bloody AI. Got a mind of their own tonight. And finally, after rollering it and all the rest of it, still made a bit of a meal of it, but yeah, finally got up that bloody bit of road. Again, I mean, it's on a little bit of a hill, but he just drove up a much steeper hill than that with a rougher road, so I don't know why that particular section was causing such an issue. Seemed to have cut the AI line a little bit fine there. And yeah, this was just like a little look along the route I'd ended up drawing. Which it sort of makes it a bit awkward, because just to the right you can see there's loads of rail cars. It's basically, they've made sure you can't really easily go that way. They've put train cars and all sorts there. There was a road going off to the left that would kind of meet that ghost bridge, like a T-junction, but I can't really do that either. So yeah, this seemed like the next best bet, is basically just plough my way through the forest, which this is one thing I do find cool about this game though. Obviously in SnowRunner, they probably wouldn't be as harsh with putting train cars on that everywhere to block the way, but nonetheless, I literally chose my own route through the forest, knocked the trees down, laid the sand, paved it, rolled it, and yeah, now got a new road going through the forest. Again, a little bit sketchy, probably needs a little bit of touching up here and there. That's what she said. Yeah, new roller as well. All of them are pretty good. They're still slow by comparison, but they're better than the rusty versions. I'm still not mad about them either. Just more as well, I wanted to have 2 sets, because sometimes I've got some recovered on one area of the map that I'd rather just leave there. And then last but not least, I found this pipe that needs fixing. It's not on a mission yet, but if I go into like the infrastructure bit, it says repair pipes. And it said I'd get 18,000 for it, which I didn't really believe, because it seems to be a much higher number than all the other missions. So, 1, I wanted to check, and 2, I just wanted to see if the crane had actually, like, the mule crane had reached it, and it wouldn't force me to bring, like, a big crane. And, yeah, thankfully it worked. As you can see, though, bloody typical, just as I'm about to lift the pipe up and all the rest of it, the AI comes along, rams into me, nearly pinned me against the wall, nearly fucked it all up, but just about got away with it. But yeah, you can reach and fix that, but I went up from, like, 136,000 to nearly 140, so definitely not 18 grand. But yeah, that's tonight's done. That's about it for today. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Get yourself a loaf, and I'll be back soon.